How does the finish last this long?
I don't know. That's like some witchcraftery they put in here.
That is, I think, the most remarkable thing about this.
It's like voodoo or something that they do. The voodoo that you do. Da, da, da. Wow, what song is that from? Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another Pours Unknown video where we have drawn a sample at what?
You said Witta.
Okay. We back with another Pours Unknown sample video.
Yep.
Or, good grief, now I'm off.
I'm sorry.
We've got a sample that we
Yes.
took out of a box, and we don't know what it is.
Nope.
It's a bourbon or a rye.
Yes.
Probably something we've never tried before. There's no familiarity with it if that's the case. The point is we're trying to remove the familiarity of the product.
Yes.
Taste it totally double blind so you get the most honest opinion as possible. We think that makes for the most straightforward whiskey reviews, separate and apart from any labels or hyper bias. So we're going to smell it and taste it, tell you what we think about it,
Yep.
give it a rating. Then we'll find out the price and see if that changes the rating, separate and apart from any labels
Yep.
or hyper bias, before we find out what we're drinking. Can't wait to get into this. These are always a ton of fun. Let's get this on the nose.
Do it. Sorry, I'm feeling really giggly right now. I don't know
That's
why.
fine. Witta.
You said it.
You got to get it together. We're going to come back for the cut and your face is going to be, or both our faces are going to be solid red.
You said Witta. And I couldn't. I tried to be so professional and keep it together. And then
Why? Who cares?
I just couldn't. I think that's what made it worse, is because I was trying to
hold it in,
stifle
yeah.
it. And I couldn't stifle it. And then I was like, it just, the laugh just came out of me. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Are you ready to get into this?
Yes, I just can't think about you saying Witta.
Okay. Think about what you're smelling in this glass, okay?
This smells like a strong man punched me with butterscotch in his hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Butterscotch in his hands. His hands aren't made of butterscotch.
The hand that he punched me with has
Yeah.
butterscotch in it, so I'm smelling that as he's punching me. It smells like it's gonna hurt to drink.
I kind of get your butterscotchy note, but I get more of just like a butter. But what I'm getting is like Luxardo, cocktail cherries, black cherries, milk chocolate, oak, and a lot of oak.
I'm not getting any of that except the oak, and I think the oak is what I say is the punch because it smells a little sharp,
Yeah, it's got some heat to it.
potentially a little painful, which a punch would be.
I'm also getting, you said butterscotch, but I'm getting like a butteriness on this. The nose smells really nice.
Interesting.
It's got some complexity and some depth to it. It's
Shall we taste
got a
it?
little bit of ethanol heat coming
Yeah.
off of it, so we should approach with caution. This
Yep.
could bite back. Let's go.
Oh, hey.
Glory hallelujah. That is a whole lot of bourbon sweetness
That's
and
good.
goodness and flavor.
Although I think the chapstick I just put on is interfering, so I'm going to wipe some of it off
Wow. Yeah.
and then retaste it.
I'm actually shocked at how much is coming across right now. I
Yeah.
thought it might have some oomph on the palate based on what the nose was giving me, but on the palate, it's got a lot of zip. It's a zippy pour, I will say.
zippy.
It's got a fair bit of spice to it.
A little spice. Is this a rye? I think it might be a rye.
It could be.
I feel like it's a rye.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like it's a rye.
So sometimes ryes can go really fruity, candy sweet, like a Jolly Rancher or something like that. This has some elements of that to it, but it also has a lot of elements of really high proof, very sweet bourbon as well.
Yeah, it does. There's just like this,
It smells like bourbon to me.
an earthy undertone that sometimes I feel like makes me think it's a rye. Whether it is or not, that's what I think of, because ryes tend to be earthy for me, or minty. This kind of has a mintiness to it to me.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of feel you there. Second sip, I'm getting the spice tamed down. Like, I'm getting the spice tamed down. The spice is taming down for me. I'm still getting all the same flavors I was getting. The oak is kind of threaded through this in a really nice way. It's really sweet. I think this is leaning more into the bourbon sphere because
Yeah.
of how sweet it is.
It's a little sharp,
It's got some sharpness to it.
and
Yeah.
I think that might be, could it be proof?
I think it's proof. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like proof sharpness as opposed to oak sharpness to me.
I think it's got proof and age on it.
Probably.
It's definitely got proof on it, but I think it's
Yeah.
got age as well.
Right.
And it's got some spice to it. Like that, it's got this black pepper sensation on the palate. Like there's a little bit of just crackling.
Yeah.
Like Pop Rocks almost. That sensation, but not a mouthful of Pop Rocks. Just like a few.
Not carbonated.
Right.
Pop Rocks. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really interesting
I like
to me.
this. I'm ready.
I got to take another sip to get some ratings.
Okay. Ooh. I will say I've just been sitting here and the heat is building. I'm not even drinking it. And it's becoming a problem.
It's very oily. It's very viscous. The finish is like pulling a weighted blanket onto you and just feeling that weight settle down onto you. I'll say it's not the most spectacular pour I've ever had, but I think it's a very, very, very good pour. I very much like this. I'd very much like to have a bottle of this.
I'd say the finish is the coolest thing about it because it lasts forever.
The finish, the viscosity, the oiliness. Yeah, I'm still tasting the finish right now. It's as strong as it was when it set on. It just ramped up.
Yeah, that's what it did for me. I was sitting here looking at the camera while you were taking your next sip, and it was literally ramping up, and I wasn't even drinking it.
You know how I like really spicy food, and I like bourbon that's got a lot of flavor and some spice to it. This kind of falls in that wheelhouse, and just like spicy food, when you eat really spicy food, sometimes talking or breathing through your mouth amplifies the spice, and that's kind of what's happening here because I started talking about it, and then it just started growing back. Like the finish is still going right now. I mean, go back and check the tape. I'll make sure there's no cuts in this part of the video. This is like a 2-minute long finish. This is wild.
That's what she said.
You're just waiting for it, weren't you? Okay. I like this a lot. I will say the flavor profile isn't my most favorite flavor profile, which is the only thing that I kind of
like it.
Him and hawing over a little bit.
It's a little sweet. It's a little earthy.
Yeah.
It's kind of straddling the line between what could be a rye or could be a bourbon. Don't know. Like,
I think the sweetness is getting augmented by the oak, and that's where the earthiness is coming in through the oak and the barrel char.
I like it.
This is a very good pour.
Are we giving it a rating?
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Ooh.
2 thumbs up.
I was considering 2 thumbs up. I'm going to be a solid thumbs up. And if the price is right, not too expensive, which I think it probably will be too expensive, I'll move up. But if it's not, we'll see what happens.
Nose, I'm giving 2 thumbs up. Palate.
You got
I know.
one overall score.
Here's the thing. The nose is a 2 thumbs up nose. The palate, for me, is a like 1.5, just because it's not my 100% preferred flavor profile.
Yeah.
I prefer a little bit more classic. Like this is very fruity.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even said. Did we give notes in this video?
We don't have to give notes.
I did.
We're a real world channel.
This is very cherry forward, and I don't tend to like things with this much of a heavy cherry dose in them. But it is very good.
Yeah.
And then the finish and the experience on this thing is like 3 thumbs up. This is remarkable.
The finish is amazing. It's one of the best finishes in a pour of whiskey I've had in a long time.
I can agree with that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm 2 thumbs up. You're 1 thumbs up.
Yeah.
That finish, y'all.
With the possibility of moving up, happily moving up, if the price is right.
If the price is right, this is number 77 in our pool.
Okay. This is $100, which normally...
Worth that.
Normally, I'd be like, oh my gosh, $100. But the way this finish is, I would pay $100 for this. I'm moving up to 2 thumbs up because I think it's such a interesting pour for that reason. The flavor profile is a little bit more aligned with kind of what I do like.
Yeah.
And then because it's not too sweet.
Because it's got the earthiness to balance out.
It's got the earthiness to balance out the sweetness. And then that finish is just a wild ride. Yeah. So I would pay $100 for this, which is saying something.
Yeah. Would you pay $200 for it?
No.
No.
I would pay $120 max.
Max. I think I know what this is, unfortunately.
And it's probably hard to find.
Well, there's not a lot of things with this flavor profile that do what this does.
Okay.
It tastes like a Buffalo Trace product. I know what this is. It has to be George T. Stagg.
It is George T. Stagg.
Yeah. 2022.
2022.
138.7 proof.
Which, y'all, I could tell there was proof there, but for being as high of a proof as it is, it drinks quite nicely.
It does. Now, here's what
I would pay $150 for it.
Oh, now you're going up.
But no more.
It's George T. Stagg.
But no more.
I'd pay a couple $100 for this bottle. I would definitely not pay more than $300 for this. And that's just a personal preference. I kind of have a hard cutoff at that for even a special bottle.
Did we say this is thanks to Bill and Delia Kavanaugh?
Thank you, Bill and Delia.
Yes.
For giving us this sample.
Okay.
This is a pour that does some things that not a lot of whiskey do. I don't think that's right.
You can't talk today.
This glass is messing me up.
Get with it.
But here, I want to highlight something real quick. We do blind tastings all the time.
We do.
I personally have other flavor profiles that I prefer more.
Yeah, you do.
We've had stuff like there's in that cabinet right over there, there's Lucky 7 14 to 15 year proprietors that have as much age as this does that are single barrels that I like those flavor profiles more than this.
Yeah.
I tend to like King of Kentucky more than George T. Stagg.
Fair.
13th Colony's Double Oak, I might prefer to this. I'm not sure that's a true statement because this is very, very good. And 13th Colony Double Oaked is very good. But there are products on the market, while not the same as this, are equally as remarkable in their own unique ways. And which is what I think is a testament to what's available on the market if you just do a little shopping around and you're not hunting after the super hyped up bottles. However, one of the benefits of a pour like George T. Stagg or a bottle of George T. Stagg, if you own one, is that you can bring this bottle out when you're sharing it with friends, and it does make a statement. It is a special bottle. They're very hard to get.
Yeah.
You know that if you're watching this. This is truly a remarkable whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stunned.
It's a wild ride. I enjoyed the ride, though. I pretty much loved it.
I can still taste the finish.
I drank a bunch of water, so it's a little muted down for me. But had I not, I probably still could too, because it's barely there.
It's either this or William LaRue Weller. I think that are Buffalo Trace's best products, and one of the few things from there that I think is really worth hunting for if you can find it at 1 or 2 times MSRP, suggested retail price. But a lot of people are paying over $1,000 for a bottle of this.
It's a lot of dollars.
I can't get behind that. But I would, if I saw this sitting on a shelf for $300, I would buy it and I would seek forgiveness after the fact. But here's the thing. I don't have to worry about that because I'm never going to find this for $300. So
there you go.
I'm just going
Problem solved.
I'm going to enjoy this for now. And at some point in time in my life, I hope I get an opportunity to taste it again.
Yeah.
But if not,
Lovely.
I know there are other things on the market that are very uniquely similar, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. I want to highlight that.
Yeah.
Because we don't like to put unobtainium stuff in here that you're never going to be able to see or get.
Without giving you some alternatives to try to find something and have a similar experience with something else, maybe.
Right. Real quick, I will say we have had at restaurants pours of George T. Stagg prior years.
Not
the 2022. We've had it prior years. It's been like $60 for 2 ounces at a good place that doesn't upcharge too much. I would pay that to taste this. I would probably pay $75, maybe $80 for 2 ounces to taste this. I don't know that I could go much more than that, personally speaking, but since you're probably not going to be able to buy a bottle of this, I think it's helpful to kind of throw in what we would pay at a bar for a special occasion. I don't think you're getting ripped off at that. There's something in here that is markedly special, and we have tried the 2019, the 2020, and the 2018. And this is the best of the bunch, although I do think the 2019 is criminally underrated because it's a low proof and people kind of hate on it because it's like not the best George T. Stagg, but it's a masterclass in bourbon. But this right here is what you want on George T. Stagg. It's got the strength, the power, the oomph, the might. I mean, it tastes like you're drinking a stag. I don't know what that sounds bad. You know what? Let's wrap this up. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, like the video. That helps a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you like blind tastings and this style of content because we do it all the time over here. It's what we do. It's our bread and butter, as they say.
I love bread and butter. And sugar. Have you ever had a bread and butter and sugar sandwich? If you haven't, you're welcome. Try it.
And hit the bell down there. Let us know if you've had a bread and butter and sugar sandwich in the comments. Hit the bell down there while you're down there commenting.
Yes.
To be notified when we go live. We do that once a month. We'd love for you to join us for a pour.
Absolutely. That's it for today. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.